stock market, get into Bitcoin, or diversify. I don't care. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't take any of my advice because I don't have any for you. We'll see you next week. We took a break over Christmas, but I can't figure any reason we wouldn't be back next week. So we'll see you then. If we see you, we won't see you. If we don't see you, I don't know.
This is a panic breakdown in the making, is what this is. Daniel's going to go crazy at the gym. Bye, everybody. Thanks.
No, I'm going to go zen at the gym.
Okay.
Right.
Go.
Bye.
Yeah, sure.
Peace out, guys. We love you.
Money. I be rolling with Satoshi. What you gonna doshi? All this money that I got make me richy. I got Bitcoin. I'm so rich. Money. I'm so rich. Money. I'm so rich. I got Bitcoin. Money.
New Year's resolutions are hard, but the Xfinity New Year, New Gig sale is easy. Waking up the kids after a long winter break? Hard. But getting gig speed internet so you can stream, surf, and game all at once? Easy. Committing to a trendy New Year's diet? Hard. But finding your favorites on Xfinity X1, the easiest all-in-one entertainment experience, just by speaking into the X1 voice remote? Easy. It's the Xfinity New Year, New Gig sale, and it's simple, easy, awesome. To learn more, go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas.
Are you a woman leader who wants to unlock her full potential? Wellesley College's executive education programs empower, inspire, and encourage women leaders to understand, own, and leverage their personal power. Through a unique blend of leadership strategies, critical thinking, and inner reflection, participants gain vital leadership perspectives and tools.
You're 6 minutes away from a live episode of Free Talk Live. Listen live at freetalklive.com.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,554, silver at $17.96, and Bitcoin is trading around $8,674. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, after repeated threats from President Donald Trump to sanction Iraq, to seize its primary bank account, and cut all military aid, Iraqi Prime Minister Adel Abdul Mahdi has backed away from calls to expel U.S. troops from Iraq. Iraq's parliament voted 170-0 earlier this month on the ouster, though U.S. officials have said they don't intend to leave and have denied actually being asked to. Following the threats, Abdul Mahdi now says he wants to leave the question up to the next government. That could take some time, as Abdul Mahdi nominally resigned last month, and there is meant to be work on reforming election law and holding fresh elections, meant to placate the anti-government protesters. There's no timetable in place for any of those moves, and efforts seem to have all but stopped since the U.S. attack on Baghdad airport. Activist Post reports the U.S. has cut joint operations with Iraq shortly thereafter, fearing they'd quickly get into fighting after that. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. The infamous United Kingdom Police Department, Scotland Yard, is refusing to reveal Prince Andrew's location on the night that he is accused of being with Virginia Griffey, one of the young girls trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein, who was underage at the time she claims the Duke had sex with her. Members of the royal family are regularly accompanied by police guards in their day-to-day activities, and there are records of where and when the officers were sent, or at the very least a record of which officers worked on which day. If the records were to be made available to investigators, they could easily determine where Prince Andrew was on the night in question. But police are saying that handing over such information could pose a threat to national security. The Mind Unleashed reports that during his disastrous BBC interview, Andrew claimed that he was at a Pizza Express in Woking on the night that then 17-year-old Griffey says the pair visited a club and later had sex. This week, Air Force General John J. Raymond was sworn in as the Chief of Space Operations for the new United States Space Force. While it was initially reported as somewhat of a joke when Donald Trump first announced it, the U.S. Space Force is a very real thing and is now the 7th military branch of the Pentagon. The Mind Unleashed reports that on Tuesday, Raymond was sworn in by Vice President Pence at his ceremonial office. The Space Force will be comprised of roughly 16,000 officers and other personnel from the U.S. Air Force and U.S. Space Command. In fact, Raymond is himself a commander of both the Air Force Space Command and the U.S. Space Command, possibly signaling that the agencies will be working very closely and consisting of many of the same members. In addition to the personnel from other agencies, the Space Force was granted $40 million through the 2020 National Defense Authorization Act. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
This is the Onion Week in Review. A month after the death of leader Kim Jong-il, North Korea's 24.5 million citizens have returned to their regular daily routines this week, holding a festive synchronized disco jump rope gala in Pyongyang's main public square. Life in the hermetic communist nation is reportedly beginning to normalize following the protracted mourning period, with citizens once again donning their brightly colored uniforms and performing intricate gymnastics routines in perfect unison.
It is an inspiring sight to see so many loyal citizens find the strength to unfurl their long silken streamers and do dozens of tandem backflips set to dance music.
Observers reported that new North Korean leader Kim Jong-un nodded once in approval of the disco jump rope gala, signaling an official transfer of power.
A recent study from the Centers for Disease Control finds that over 100 million children are being exposed to harmful levels of stupidity in their own homes. Hear the debate about secondhand ignorance on the next In the Know.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live. 855-450-FREE. That's our toll-free number. That's free as in freedom. 855-450-3733. That's the number to call to get on the air, to talk to us, to let us know what's on your mind. Let us know what's important to you. Because, hey, we're going to bring in a couple topics. We're going to kick them around. Maybe you'll find them interesting. Maybe you won't. If you don't,
maybe
call
you just
us.
hate topics.
maybe you're a topic phobe.
You want to beat them up.
Right. Get these damn topics out of my face. But we like to talk about stuff, and by we, I mean myself, Chris.
And Ian.
And nobody.
And we are going to start things off by talking about everyone's favorite socialist country, Venezuela. Well, I don't know if it's anyone's favorite socialist country, but they are a shining example of what you can expect under socialist control. I think they pretty much, I mean, going back for decades now, they have gone to the playbook and they have implemented fabulously socialist programs. The last couple of years, it's really been about their economic choices, and they seem to love inflation. The government does, because it keeps them rolling in bank. Unfortunately, it devastates the rest of the country.
Well, I mean, is it really that great to be rolling in bank when the money that you're rolling in can't buy a loaf of bread without wheelbarrows full of it, basically?
Oh, you're talking about the people of Venezuela.
No, I'm talking about people, even the people that are in charge. I mean, that's
Sure.
my question here. I understand they're living large compared to the rest of Venezuela, but is it really that great to be where they are?
There must come a point where, we can only add so many zeros to this dollar, or this Maduro, or this, what is it?
It's called the Bolivar.
The Bolivar. So many
but
times.
They should rename it to the Maduro. Why not?
Right. They should.
They should call it the Chavez.
The Chavez.
The Chav.
Yeah. And, I guess the answer to that is like the richest woman in Venezuela is Hugo Chavez's daughter. Except she doesn't actually live in Venezuela. She lives in Europe and spends Venezuelan money.
Where?
Not in Europe, she doesn't.
Who takes it?
Basically, it gets converted to euros, and that's what she lives off. They basically looted the country, for her. So she doesn't have any problem with the inflation because she doesn't have to spend her money in Chavez's.
Right.
She can or bolivars or pesos or whatever. She's spending euros.
I mean, surely there are still some luxury shops and goods available in Venezuela, but it could not possibly be as many as it once was. There could not be as much. There's not as much wealth available to those people there now. So even though you're riding high on the hog, you're still nowhere near as well off as wealthy people in other places, I would think.
Do you think that Maduro holds bolivars? Do you think he is stockpiling Venezuelan rapidly deflating?
No way. He's rolling in petros, my man.
Petros. Right.
Petros.
Or,
oh God,
here's a thought. Maybe he's just getting somebody to convert it for him into some other currency if they can find a market.
What lunatic would want to take Bolivar from anyone?
Oh. Well,
I mean, that's the reason why in the black market, you've got to give a ton more Bolivar, right, to get a U.S. dollar.
Okay.
Because they don't want them.
Right. Of course not. But do you think if you have the power of the printing press behind you, you couldn't come up with enough to make yourself fabulously wealthy by cash? Yeah.
You can do that.
And I think so. And that is what happens, kids, when you have a socialist system where the government controls all aspects of the money. They don't have to keep their money in that particular currency, in this case the Venezuelan bolivar. They'll convert it over to something that holds its value. That should be your truest example of why this doesn't work. When the only people close to the government, close to the top of the government, can thrive, more to the point, can buy a loaf of bread, and everybody else is struggling.
Just so you know, always love to check the black market rate of the bolivar whenever we do these conversations, because we talk about Venezuela every few weeks here on Free Talk Live. And it's been about a year and a half now. It was August of 2018 when they brought about this new bolivar, the sovereign bolivar, the Bolivar Soberano, replacing the Bolivar Fuerte, which had previously replaced the bolivars. They're on the third iteration in about 2 decades of this thing. And when they brought about the Bolivar Soberano, they knocked 5 zeros off of the Bolivar Fuerte. And when they did that at the website dollartoday.com, we checked when this was going down. We said, all right, well, let's mark this moment in time. What is the black market exchange rate? Because that's the real one.
Yep.
There's the BS one that the government comes up with.
Of course.
And then there's the real one, dollartoday.com. Back in August or late August of 2018, it was about 72 Bolivar Soberano to $1 US. Today, about 18 months later,
it
is 78,753 Bolivar Soberano to $1, up 1,000 times.
Wow.
And that means
that's a lot of dollar.
Right. Now, everyday items still have a cost.
How is this website spelled? Is it spelled DOLOR today?
Close. DOLAR. Dollar.
Oh, okay. So I was wondering because DOLOR is Spanish for pain.
Yeah. So just to give you some idea of how bad it really is out there. It's bad.
Yeah, so when this kind of thing happens, people tend to go to the government and go, "Oh my God, we're experiencing 1,000% inflation over a certain period of time. That means every time I go to the market, it takes more and more money, and I don't have any more money because wages aren't keeping up. So fix it, government." So Venezuela, Maduro is trying to fix it. So
no, he's not.
So yes, he is. He wants
All
to.
he needs is a bullet in a brain pan.
And this is coming to us from QZ.com.
I love the photo, by the way, with Maduro stacking bars of gold.
Yeah.
At some conference. He's got a microphone in front of him.
Nice.
Wow.
He
actually got in trouble for eating empanadas on TV
television
while everybody was starving. That was
that's what this reminds me of here.
Yeah.
Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro ordered the 11th minimum wage hike in 24 months yesterday, boosting the basic salary by 67%.
Woo, we're rich.
Yay.
Which it comes to basically to 250,000 bolivars an hour. How about that? No, it's basic salary. Excuse me. 250,000 bolivars. So, hold on.
Are you sure that's an hour or is that per month?
The basic salary. So I'm guessing it's probably a month to 250,000 bolivars. So you work a year. I mean, you're $3
million a year.
That's pretty cool. Except 250,000 bolivars equals $3.61 US, plus a $200,000 quote food bonus unquote as the country struggles to deal with hyperinflation. So there you go. I mean, you're even getting a bonus just for working minimum wage.
Wow.
So maybe they can throw some other great words.
You can almost afford food.
You could almost do that. Well, that will become less and less of a problem because there will be less and less living people in Venezuela. They will die. People will die. And that's what socialism brings. It's not just bad, saying, oh, my dollar doesn't stretch as far as it used to. These people are going, we've got kids to feed, and we're likely going to lose a couple in the next month. I can't
always
even
remember
imagine.
What Joe Stalin used to say. He'd say, kids, dark humor is like food. Not everybody gets it.
This is Free Talk Live.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556 ICAGoldSilver.com.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you receive the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at AnyPayInc.com. AnyPayInc.com.
I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android in the App Store or at edge.app.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer-term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. That's free as in freedom, 855-450-3733. Or head on over to discord.lrn.fm. Load up the Discord app. You got to have that. You got to load some software first. But you can use your high-speed internet connection, your computer's microphone or your cell phone's microphone. You can contact us that way, and you will sound really good. You'll sound like you are in the studio with us. In the studio tonight is Chris.
And I'm Ian.
And I'm nobody.
And we are talking about bad economic policies. And no, we're not talking about the United States. We could do a whole show on that. We're talking about Venezuela, which has inflated their currency so ridiculously over so many years. We just did a look at a known date, which was about 18 months ago compared to today, and it's been over 1,000% inflation.
No, 1,000 times.
1,000 times. That doesn't figure out to be a percentage.
It's 100,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for those of you in the United States, I mean, we've been seeing 2.5 to 3.5%.
That's what
inflation.
the government says.
That's what the government says, and
they don't factor in everything that probably should be factored in.
Well, I mean, who really uses petroleum products?
Yeah, there's other things too, right? They don't include.
Yeah,
and housing.
Right.
Yeah, those are two things they don't include.
Yeah. So the inflation statistics put out by the U.S. government are really
crap.
Yeah. Well, they're bogus. They're not inclusive enough for them to publish a number, and I think their excuse really is well, there are regional variations. Of course, us in the Northeast, we broadcast from New Hampshire. Yeah, we have higher heating oil costs, for example, than somebody in Florida. So the government says, well, we'll just disregard that and consider everything else equal, and you can't do that. Inflation numbers, if you wanted to be real, you would do it at least regionally, statewide, or something like that, and not exclude anything.
Well, and years ago in Venezuela, they stopped publishing the official numbers, right? Of what do they call it? M1, I think, or something like that.
Be the base supply of money.
M1, M2. There's a whole collection
M3,
of them.
yeah.
M2 includes checking deposits.
Yeah, so I think M1's cash, right? Or liquid
M1
currency
is
or something.
Cash and a couple other things, but it's the smallest.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they stopped doing that, and that was years ago now. I think like probably 4 or 5 years ago, and that was right around the time when things really started to get bad, because it's been the last time we talked about this was a couple weeks ago. I believe the story we were reading at the time said they've had 21 or 22 straight quarters of economic decline in Venezuela. So it's been over 5 years of just consistent, constant economic doldrums and depression and just awful.
Yeah, and in face of that, the Maduro government has just been slowly increasing, 11 times in the past 24 months, they have hiked the minimum wage. Now, Venezuela has what is called what we refer to as a minimum wage. Everybody in the country gets the basic salary. The basic salary, which used to be 100,000 bolivars twice a month, it is now raised to 250,000 bolivars twice a month. So
now, is that like an MGI where you get that whether you work or not?
I think so. And I haven't. I just briefly.
I don't know about that.
I just you or what the heck does Yang want to do? What does he want to give
UBI.
me? Universal Basic Income. Everybody gets. I think they refer to it as a worker. I just had a little bit of time to look into it, but they said it is paid twice a month. So, think about that. I mean, it's not like you're making 250,000 bolivars, which means you're making $3.61 every 2 months in U.S. dollars. And that's not a lot, because a lot of the products are going to be purchased. They have to be purchased, or you're going to have to pay an awful lot for them to be imported. I guess that's what I'm trying to picture. How do things get imported when no one wants your currency?
Here's an interesting flashback. It is, as we're doing this show, the 16th of January, I think?
Yes.
Headline from January 14th, 2019.
Okay.
Venezuela's Maduro hikes minimum wage 300%. So he's getting all skinflint here. This is only 67?
67%.
He hiked the minimum wage 300% to 18,000 bolivars per month at that time. Per month, 18,000, which they said at the time was worth about $6.70. So even though it's now 250,000 twice a month, or 500,000 per month, it's actually worth less than it was a year ago at 18,000.
Well, Maduro hasn't raised the minimum wage in a while, and in a while, I mean since October. When Maduro last raised the wage to 150,000 bolivars in October, a month of work could buy about 4 kilograms or 9 pounds of beef, but the new hike can't even buy 1 kilogram due to inflation's effect on consumer prices. So,
to anybody who's paying attention, I mean, this is just pathetic.
And I feel bad because I look at these
somebody
things.
Needs to shoot him.
You're right.
I mean, good God.
I mean, I sort of joke about this stuff, but there's real people down there. There are real lives being devastated by this, and real lives being lost. People are dying, and I'm sorry, I'm going to get scolded about driving my car by a Scandinavian high school student. This bothers me. How dare you? Too. Exactly. How dare I? According to that was according to Bloomberg. The new hike can't even buy a kilogram of beef. A month of work on U.S. minimum wage equates, no. A month of work on the U.S. minimum wage of $7.25 per hour would buy 137 kilograms of ground beef. We're not advocating even the U.S.'s minimum wage. We don't advocate any minimum wage. At a minimum wage of £8 21 pence per hour, workers in the UK can earn enough to buy 288 kilograms of rump steak in a month. The recent wage increase makes it look like there was effectively no minimum wage until recently. And they show a couple of charts, and, dating back to 2008, there really doesn't...
Wasn't that about when Chavez passed away?
It may have been, but here's the deceiving thing. We're looking at this chart, and it looks like a hockey stick. And no, we're not talking about climate change. This goes from 2008 up to about 2019, and then it has a sharp spike.
Big time.
But the scale is so small that we can't see all the little increases in here, which were occurring too.
Chavez died in 2013.
855-450 free. What do you think? I mean, this is just, and it's just killing people because you want to be in control, Mr. Maduro. This is Free Talk Live.
Have you heard of LibertyCon? LibertyCon is not only a convention with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO and co-founder John Mackey and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith, but it's also unique because you get a chance to network with more than 70 pro-liberty organizations, one-on-one for the purpose of career advancement, business, and internship opportunities. April 3rd through 5th in Washington, D.C. You can learn more by visiting libertycon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on your registration. That's libertycon.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app, and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com.
Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
Join 450 free. That's our toll-free number, 855-450-3733. That's the number to call to get on the air, to get on the radio. But first, I wanted to tell you about local.bitcoin.com. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or just meeting in person with cash. There's no ID requirement to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. That's local.bitcoin.com. And we have been talking about the hellhole that the socialists have turned Venezuela into. I'm sorry. Bernie Sanders has been a big fan of Venezuela. He's come out a couple times and praised the Maduro government and the Chavez government before that. So
yeah, I suspect he's quieted down about that in recent years.
It'd be a great thing to ask.
I think he has been asked about that. I don't have his answer at hand, but I suspect that the sort of the standard socialist response is, well, they just did it wrong. If they would just do it my way.
And they just add more, freedom. No, you can't do that. I can't add freedom. What can I add?
Well, that's the thing.
Just do it differently.
Recently, they did add a little bit more freedom.
Really?
They have now decided, and Maduro himself thanked God, apparently, on like some sort of national appearance, television, radio, or something like that. I think it was back in November, for the dollar.
For the dollar.
They are now allowing Venezuelans, it's not official policy, but it is officially, they're looking the other way.
Interesting.
They're allowing Venezuelans to do business in the dollar. So you're seeing now more signage up at businesses, your little shop on the side of the road or whatever, which has prices in dollars.
Wow.
Yeah. In fact, they estimated that over half of transactions at least in Caracas, are in the dollar now.
Right.
And they're out in the open.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Now we need more transactions in cryptocurrency down there.
I agree with you, but
that would help. But it is an improvement over what they got.
It is, and it's interesting to see the dollar being this sort of subversive thing that is actually helping people retain their value when compared to the Bolivar.
Right, and compared to this country where we constantly lose money. I mean, if you are holding dollars, literally, if you have a bank account filled with U.S. dollars and you keep it there for, it used to be you keep your money in the bank and you do that for, 30, 40 years, and then you got a nice little nest egg when you retire. Well, that's not the case versus bank savings rates when inflation in the United States outpaces what banks pay in interest. That means every year that nest egg shrinks.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So people
banks don't pay jack squat in interest, so it's definitely outpacing it.
Yeah,
by far.
Right, and that's the issue. So people are driven to, you want to increase your earnings, you want to be able to afford to retire. So people looked towards more speculative things like real estate. Leading up to 2008, maybe I'll buy some of those derivatives. All the different mortgages all rolled together because they're triple rated. That's what people did. And I don't say that jokingly. I mean, pension plans were buying into the thing that led to the 2008, and their value went to zero. They just crumbled and they went to zero. That's what happens when you practice bad economics. So we're looking at some other charts of Venezuela, and different ways of looking at it. Again, this is basically looking like a hockey chart when it looks at the minimum wage.
Venezuela, just for listeners just tuning in, has raised its minimum wage again. However, every time they raise the minimum, so-called raise the minimum wage, the amount of actual product that the new minimum wage can buy is less than what it was previously. So they're acting like they're helping people, and in reality, it's just posturing. That's all it is. I mean, that's all the minimum wage increases is anyway. Like when you look at the minimum wage increases here in the United States. In fact, I've got a story about how businesses in the U.S. are handling minimum wage increases by firing people and cutting hours. But it's always just essentially a pandering of the politicians to the people. It's a way for them to make it look like they care. It's a way for them to make it look like they're concerned for the little guy, when in reality, it actually does nothing whatsoever to help the little guy, and in fact, actually hurts them.
I think sometimes it's just government economists saying, we've got the answer to what ails you. We'll help you fix this. The first thing you need to do, Maduro, is you got to jack up that minimum wage. And that will lead to more people being happy, and they will buy more things, and so on and so on. The thing is, none of that stuff works in a socialist economy.
Well, it doesn't even work here. I mean, you can. This isn't a so-called socialist economy, although there are plenty of arguments that there's a lot of socialism implemented in the United States.
True.
But the minimum wage has the same effect everywhere it's tried, and that is to increase the supply of money in the economy, and that just means prices go up.
Maduro has vowed to cut inflation down to single digit this year.
Whoa, that's a big vow. You think he can keep that promise?
A stiff challenge, given that prices are currently estimated to be rising at 9,900% by Bloomberg's index that tracks the price of a cup of coffee in Caracas. Venezuela is also suffering a humanitarian crisis, with its economy crippled by economic mismanagement and hefty sanctions placed by Maduro's dictatorial regime. Last year, Juan Guaido, the opposition speaker of the National Assembly, declared himself president and was promptly recognized by much of the international community, but his faltering coalition has so far failed to take power.
Yeah, it's been like a year since he tried that.
And it's unlikely, and it's sad that it's unlikely. What they need is
he's just another socialist, though. He's
That's
not
true.
any better.
He may be a little bit better, but not much.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to tell people of Venezuela other than leave.
And a lot of them have.
You can try to weather it. Maybe if you're a farmer, where you can grow your own food and take care of your family, if they let you, if you're off the grid in Venezuela, maybe you stand a chance. But otherwise, this just means death for you and for your children. I hate to be blunt.
Millions of people have left in the last few years. I think we saw 5 million estimated have left the country, and it's a country of about 30 million people, so roughly 1/6.
Sixth of their population.
Yeah, they've either gone to Colombia right next door or traveling to wherever they can get to.
Leave or die. That's the message, and that's a really sad position to be in. I can't imagine having to make that choice. Though here in the U.S., I mean, while a lot of people will talk about the thriving economy and all these things we have going for us, we're not as bad as Venezuela. But we can look at our government. We can see similar steps being taken, like the minimum wage. I mean, this is one of those things that people are harping on. You got to get that up. I had a lady tell me, who could ever live on $7.25 an hour? Well, that's the question. Well, who could live on $7? We got to get that number up.
What's the stupidity that anybody who has a job has to be able to live on the proceeds of that job? When I was 14, I worked for Cottage Inn Pizza passing out flyers, and I wanted to buy a bike. And I bought my bike, but I didn't make enough money to live on. Okay? And if I'd had to make enough money to live on in order to have a job, I wouldn't have had that job and I wouldn't have gotten my bike.
Rich people just need to accept that they're only going to be ever capable of anything more than a minimum wage job, and the government needs to pay everyone a higher minimum wage so they can all be happy at the bottom.
The government doesn't pay a minimum wage.
No, they don't. 855 450 free. This is Free Talk Live.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Are you over 50? Would you like to get up to 33% more income in retirement? Then call now for this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers, from a leading financial firm on maximizing your income in retirement. That's right, free. This free book reveals little-known truths about annuities in simple-to-understand terms that will help you make the right choices before buying an annuity. And it's free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report summarizing the rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. That's right, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling today.
800-932-1789. 800-932-1789. 800-932-1789. That's 800-932-1789.
Producers have the appropriate licenses for the products they offer. Increased income is possible using strategies suited to your goals and may require buying multiple annuities and holding them full term.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com. Live video of our key New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. That's free as in freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Wow. That's some loud music playing for us. But first, I wanted to tell you about Liberty.menu. For years, libertarians of all stripes have been trying to get somebody to put together a directory of liberty-minded businesses. We're helping build one. That's Liberty.menu. Liberty.menu is a tool for our community. At its core, it's a directory of events, businesses, and digital content, and there's more. Listings can be rated and reviewed, and there's a bit of a social network so you can connect and share with others. Use of Liberty.menu is exclusively for individuals who reject the initiation of force and for those who agree to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principle. Put your voluntarist ideas into action at Liberty.menu and use code FTL to get a special badge. That's Liberty.menu. In studio, it's Chris, Ian, and Rich. Nobody. See, I've got to get around that. It's like writing 2019 on checks. It's this mental block I have. I need
start
to
it with future governor of New Hampshire.
Future governor.
Nobody. Then it'll all just flow out.
Will that make it flow? Okay, yeah. I'll try that. But we've been talking about Venezuela, and we've been talking about inflation and them hiking the minimum wage down there to 250,000 bolivars. Wow, you get that twice a month each time. Now payday is about $3.61 U.S. That would be the equivalent. And they're getting that twice a month. But minimum wage laws and raises are being talked about in the United States too. Fight for 15. I mean, we've got to make it so anybody can get a minimum wage job and live. It needs to be a livable wage, nobody. That's what we need here. That is what they tell us.
Yeah. Nonsense. There's absolutely no reason that you should be able to live on every job. Bagger boys at the grocery store.
Yes.
Back in the day, they did not live on their wages because they were kids.
They
lived with their parents.
Yeah.
And there is no reason that you should have to be an adult to work. There's no reason that you should have to be paying bills to work, and there is no reason you should have to earn enough to be an adult and pay bills to work.
I got related stories. I got how a 40-year-old Greek diner is dealing with wage hikes here in the United States. If you want to keep talking about minimum wage.
Let's go there.
Or we can talk about the Venezuelan petro and get the latest on that too. But here's from westword.com. Breakfast buzzes as usual at Chef Zorba's Authentic Greek Cuisine. Regular customers shout a hello as they come in the door. Servers refill coffees and pack up leftovers. The portions here are substantial. And owner Karen Lekanek chats with guests as they pay their tabs.
Excuse me, where's this at?
Darn good question. Chef Zorba's. This is Congress Park Restaurant.
I think Zorba lived in Greece.
Denver. It's Denver.
Okay.
Denver.
Nice. Okay. Well, the place sounds good. I'm kind of hungry.
It feels almost like a big family gathering. Some of the regulars have been coming in every day for years, and some of the employees count their tenure in decades rather than months or years. And that's a big deal when you're in
huge.
Food service. It's very high turnover, typically in food service. It's very rare that employees stay in one place for long. But the family recently got smaller. At dinner time, Chef Zorba's is now dark and empty because the owner, Lekanek, just made the difficult decision to shorten hours to breakfast and lunch only.
Why? He sounds like he's got a thriving business. People love it. Employees stick around for decades. Why would he do that?
Her name's Karen. But on January 1st, the Congress Park restaurant changed its hours from 7 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. daily, primarily because of the new minimum wage increases that Denver City Council and the mayor, Michael Hancock, signed into effect in November. She said, quote, "It wasn't an easy decision for us. We had to do layoffs, and we went from 35 to about 27 people because of it."
Wow.
So cutting a significant portion of their staff. The layoffs and shortened hours didn't come simply because of the change in the minimum wage, which went from $11.10 to $12.85 per hour for non-tipped employees at the beginning of 2020. Chef Zorba's was already paying at least 25% above minimum wage, according to Lacanic. She says, you'd never be able to hire a cook or dishwasher for minimum wage.
Right.
She says further, and nobody, you washed some dishes recently, and you were getting paid above minimum, correct?
Yeah, I was making $12 an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's a lot above minimum. Wages, she says, have been driven up by low unemployment. And honestly, if you advertised a job paying minimum wage, you probably couldn't even get anyone to show up and fill out an application.
That's how it is here in New Hampshire. You're not going to hire somebody at minimum wage. Nobody's going to bother. You're going to get paid $10 if you're working fast food in Keene, New Hampshire.
Yeah, Ann Arbor, Michigan, I saw they were advertising $11 an hour at McDonald's.
Right.
The real problem, the owner points out, is that there's a separate minimum wage for tipped employees, which must be no more than $3.03 less than the non-tipped rate, according to state law. So when the city of Denver signed its increases into law, it also increased the wages for the tipped employees, who are often the highest paid employees at any restaurant. Because if you know what you're doing as a server, you get a lot of good tips.
So I spent a lot of years in the restaurant industry, and a lot of it was in the kitchen, but I also waited tables and I also tended bar. And when I waited tables, I was accused of stealing, jokingly, from my boss at one place I worked. He said, because it's impossible that you are that good that you're walking out of here every night, even weeknights you work, with $100 in tips.
This was how many years ago?
This was in the 80s, and I said, I'm sorry, but they like me. So I was making $100 in tips a night, $100 a night in the 80s. Now
and you
that
weren't
was
even that good looking.
I'm not, and
God, it's horrendous.
And I did just want to point this out. I'm also male, which that's a dead giveaway.
So you really must have been good at upselling and being friendly and chatting up the clients.
Well, I knew that waiting tables or tip based is it's a very true capitalistic experience. You are paid immediately. You are rewarded on the job you do.
Mm-hmm.
But how much did I make an hour? How much was I making an hour then? $2.10.
Right. Base pay, yeah.
I made $2.10. The rest of it was tips. $100 an hour, I'll take it.
So in this case, Lacanic, the owner, was forced to either give all her tipped employees a raise of $1.75 an hour, going from $8.08 to $9.83, or to let some of them go. After looking at the restaurant's dinner hour numbers, she decided that cutting dinner and the workers that were needed to staff it was a better alternative than eliminating other benefits, such as health insurance that she gives to her full-time employees, or, worse, closing the restaurant entirely.
That is... It's so sad.
Sorry to everybody that really enjoyed dinner at this great restaurant that's been around for 40 years. That's over.
No, it is horrendous. And some people in Denver are going to be happy about this. Some employees who have no aspirations of bettering themselves, and they're just, minimum wage employees, or they were they were slightly higher than minimum wage, but the government just decreed that you get a raise, and they are going to support this, and they're going to talk about how great it is because, my lazy butt is now worth, X dollars an hour.
And then they're going to get laid off, and then they're going to get laughed at.
They're going to get their hours cut.
Get their hours cut if they don't get laid off.
Then they can blame the evil owner for firing them. It wasn't the government's fault.
Yeah, they can blame whatever they want.
Right.
But that doesn't give them a job. There's no job in blaming things.
Right. Well, I don't know. There are a lot of people running for.
Well, you could be a women's studies professor, and any of the grievance studies fields, I guess, would be a degree in blaming people.
Or you can just run for the Democratic candidacy for president. I mean. Right now, in these debates, the only one I'm really watching is Yang, because
you're watching.
You got your eye on the Yang.
Oh God, he's the high bidder. I mean, he is offering me $1,000 a month forever, for doing nothing. I'm not seeing the down.
That's better than a minimum wage increase,
It's
right?
better than minimum wage. I'm not expected to pay it back. I don't have to do anything for it.
Yeah.
It's just $1,000.
Well, I mean, a minimum guaranteed income of $1 million annually would be a wonderful thing, actually, economically, because what it would do is make the dollar irrelevant. It would force the dollar to zero, which would force the national debt to zero.
I got more on this coming up.
This is Free Talk Live.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at mark@freetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. mark@freetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Are you able to set your own schedule, work, play, or sleep whenever you want, 7 days a week? Are you free to date whomever you want, even if you're already married? I'm Caleb Jones, and I've taught hundreds of thousands of men how to create low-work, high-income businesses and how to date women under your terms. Watch our free on-demand replay training with me so you can learn how to create location-independent income and date women the way you want. Go to alpha.freetalklive.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,554, silver at $17.96, and Bitcoin is trading around $8,674. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, after repeated threats from President Donald Trump to sanction Iraq, to seize its primary bank account, and cut all military aid, Iraqi Prime Minister Adel Abdul Mahdi has backed away from calls to expel U.S. troops from Iraq. Iraq's parliament voted 170-0 earlier this month on the ouster, though U.S. officials have said they don't intend to leave and have denied actually being asked to. Following the threats, Abdul Mahdi now says he wants to leave the question up to the next government. That could take some time, as Abdul Mahdi nominally resigned last month, and there is meant to be work on reforming election law and holding fresh elections, meant to placate the anti-government protesters. There's no timetable in place for any of those moves, and efforts seem to have all but stopped since the U.S. attack on Baghdad airport. Activist Post reports the U.S. has cut joint operations with Iraq shortly thereafter, fearing they'd quickly get into fighting after that. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. The infamous United Kingdom Police Department, Scotland Yard, is refusing to reveal Prince Andrew's location on the night that he is accused of being with Virginia Giuffre, one of the young girls trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein, who was underage at the time she claims the Duke had sex with her. Members of the royal family are regularly accompanied by police guards in their day-to-day activities, and there are records of where and when the officers were sent, or at the very least a record of which officers worked on which day. If the records were to be made available to investigators, they could easily determine where Prince Andrew was on the night in question. But police are saying that handing over such information could pose a threat to national security. The Mind Unleashed reports that during his disastrous BBC interview, Andrew claimed that he was at a Pizza Express in Woking on the night that then 17-year-old Giuffre says the pair visited a club and later had sex. This week, Air Force General John J. Raymond was sworn in as the Chief of Space Operations for the new United States Space Force. While it was initially reported as somewhat of a joke when Donald Trump first announced it, the U.S. Space Force is a very real thing and is now the 7th military branch of the Pentagon. The Mind Unleashed reports that on Tuesday, Raymond was sworn in by Vice President Pence at his ceremonial office. The Space Force will be comprised of roughly 16,000 officers and other personnel from the U.S. Air Force and U.S. Space Command. In fact, Raymond is himself a commander of both the Air Force Space Command and the U.S. Space Command, possibly signaling that the agencies will be working very closely and consisting of many of the same members. In addition to the personnel from other agencies, the Space Force was granted $40 million through the 2020 National Defense Authorization Act. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Last month, the FDA approved Hallucex, a new class of weight loss drug that helps users avoid overeating by producing nightmarish hallucinations whenever food is around. Hallucex targets the brain's cerebral cortex, stimulating the centers responsible for fear and visual processing. Test subjects reported an unprecedented decrease in appetite and showed dramatic weight loss, with only 18% reporting night terrors or subsequent cardiac arrest.
It's designed to make fatty and sugary foods even scarier. An apple just looks like it has fangs, but a milkshake will threaten you and your family by name.
Earlier incarnations of the drug proved to be too powerful and produced mental states in which test subjects no longer believed that food had ever existed. An unshakable belief that the subject had to eat all of the food on the planet in order to prevent food from rising up and destroying the human race.
No, you don't understand. I have to do this.
Or the conviction that food could be negotiated with diplomatically. With the Lab Report, I'm Aisha Patel.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. That's free as in freedom, 855-450-3733. Thanks for joining us for hour number 2 of our 3-hour cruise. No, I mean a 3-hour show tonight.
Tour.
Free Talk Live does 3 hours of live radio with live phones. It's open phones. Anybody can call in, and we've got a number of people waiting. You can set the topic. We've been talking about inflation. We've been talking about minimum wage, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more. But we're going to take some phone calls, too, because we want to hear what's important to people. The we I refer to is myself, Chris.
It's Ian.
And nobody.
And we, well, I think we all do. We want to make sure you know about Edge Wallet. Edge Wallet, it's a crypto wallet. It's a way to securely buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Stellar. There's too many to list. It is user controlled. What that means in crypto talk is you're the only one who has the keys to access your money, and that's important. Edge is built by a veteran team. They've been building apps since 2014. They want to help secure your freedom, and you can find out more at edge.app. That's edge.app. And I love it. I use it. I can't tell you how many times I've used it this week. I've been going into it sometimes just to get price increases because cryptocurrencies are in a bit of a bull market right now. A lot of people are watching that. I'm not the only one. So the big ones like Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, I guess, has seen some gains. But a lot of the smaller coins, the altcoins, people refer to them, have seen significant gains lately too. So
it's been a crazy week.
It has been. It's been a crazy few years. And every once in a while, I think the whole general global psyche just gets crazy about crypto. Now, crypto didn't change. Nothing really earth-shattering happened. That no government said we're going to quit making banks turn down companies that deal in crypto. There's been no real thing that you could pin it on, but every once in a while something comes out, some perfect storm of things allow the mindset to change, and people are all of a sudden bullish on crypto again. So who knows how long it will last. I hope longer, but I don't put all my eggs in one basket.
Nope, bad plan.
Bad plan. We have been talking about minimum wage and the government. Well, they can tell you what's best, but we're going to go to the phones where, oh man, I think I lost him.
Straight razor gone?
Straight razor drop. We're going to go to Andrew in Twinburg, Ohio. Andrew, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about these stupid minimum wage laws.
Yes, sir.
And this is one thing that separates libertarians, I think, which I am, and conservatives. If you go up to any conservative and say, abolish all minimum wage laws, they'll go, wait, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? We still need minimum wage laws. But it's funny how only 2.3% of Americans make minimum wage, and they always make this a friggin' big deal in the campaign.
Right.
And they've raised minimum wage 22 times. They've raised it 22 times since 1938. But we'll do it the 23rd time. This is going to be the magical number.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see your thoughts about this.
Yeah, see, and what I say is don't raise the minimum wage. Stop devaluing the currency.
Right.
Just stop. And then you don't have a problem.
But they can't stop because devaluing the currency is a key to being able to raise spending money for the government to do things like going to war. But because if they couldn't do it, if it was like value-backed money or like gold-backed or whatever, then they'd actually have to tax people more heavily in order to do things like go to war. But now they can just print it out and they don't actually have to increase taxes for it.
Right.
And that's why I advocate $1 million a year minimum guaranteed income for every American, so we can just inflate the dollar to zero,
just out of existence. Yeah, that's
just make the dollar irrelevant again.
And people will say things, well, what about 9/11? I mean, we had to get the bad guys and stuff like that. Well, okay, let's say...
Yeah, we had to have that corpse so we could dump it in the ocean.
Right. So let's just say for the heck of it, we get attacked and we have this extremely expensive campaign to try to bring to terms. If the government would have known that they would have to go back to the taxpayers and say... I know this is going to be a big one to swallow, but we need another $1 trillion in taxation from each one of you. We want you to support us and keep that in mind as you try to reelect us. It's just not going to happen. You can't get reelected by putting the kind of costs that war brings on people.
See, there ought to be a way to give a politician like a ritual bitch smacking when he just comes up with... That's the problem, is people can propose any war, any legislation to pay for things, and there's no system in place to bitch smack these people.
Well, no, we've got free elections in this country, Rich. You just vote them out of office.
We don't have free elections. Good God.
You vote them out.
Two parties that divide a monopoly on political power.
True.
And both of them rig their primary processes when it suits them. So literally, there is no matter how you slice it, the reality is a very small group of people is in charge of all of it.
Well,
all of the political
just
power.
throw the bums out. How many times have I heard
They're
that?
all bums.
Well, the problem, and they are, and people recognize that, except for my congress,man.
Nobody's a bum you
They're
can trust.
good. They're people say vote everybody out, and then we see 87% reelection rates with incumbents. People, they don't like quote unquote Congress, but their congressman's okay. Theirs
well, the one they bought off.
Exactly.
They're just irritated because they're so expensive.
They love the fact that he brings back plenty of pork barrel projects to their district. So why would we get rid of him? That's the problem. It's just a mess. Yeah. I don't know how to fix it.
I think we should increase the size of the Congress. Let's make every man a congressman.
I like that.
When we'll all go to Washington and argue about this for ourselves. I say expand universal suffrage in Congress.
Andrew, any other thoughts?
Yeah, you're talking about Andrew Yang as well.
Yes. He's winning the bid for my vote.
Well, he's crazy, but he's not as crazy as other Democrats, because at least he knows that all these European countries that instated that wealth tax, only 3 have kept them, but they've cut them like drastically. I think 9 countries have repealed them in Europe. But these Elizabeth Warrens and these Bernie Sanders, no, let's just keep increasing taxes. Let's just increase taxes, even though the rich, 44% of Americans don't even pay any income tax, but they want to tell the other people how to let's raise your rate.
Right. It's always raising the rate on somebody else. And the idea of a wealth tax is insane. I hate to break it to you, but wealthy people are the ones that employ a lot of people in this country. Not everybody else. Actually, the biggest employers are small businesses.
That is true, but I think 90% of them fail within 10 years. So.
And small businesses rely on a lot of these big businesses to be successful. You know, there are a lot of businesses, very small businesses, that are based on the fact that Jeff Bezos and Amazon make it really affordable for them to do business. So these are things that are necessary. And it isn't just a pie is only as big as you cut, or as it's not a fixed size. If you grow the economy, then everybody can get a share of the pie.
But the thing that we don't have is kids getting educated on how to be an entrepreneur, kids being educated on economics.
Government doesn't want that. Call, man.
No.
It's and we don't educate, and hopefully,
and then we wonder why they don't want to live under a free market. They don't know how.
This is Free Talk Live.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
I want to tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com. Have you heard of LibertyCon? LibertyCon is not only a convention with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO and co-founder John Mackey and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith, but it's also unique because you get a chance to network with more than 70 pro-liberty organizations, one-on-one for the purpose of career advancement, business, and internship opportunities. April 3rd through 5th in Washington, D.C. You can learn more by visiting libertycon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on your registration. That's libertycon.com.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live, 855 450 free. That's free as in freedom. 855 450 3733. That's our toll free number. That's the number you call to get on the air. You can also use Discord. Discord is a very cool app. Just go to discord.lrn.fm. You'll learn all about it. Basically, you're going to load some software on your phone, on your laptop, whatever. You'll use your high-speed internet connection and your quality microphone, and you will sound like you are right here in the studio with us. In studio tonight, it's Chris.
It's Ian.
And nobody.
And we've been kind of all over the board, but mostly economic issues and poking some jest at the idea of, I will say, socialist ideas of how monetary policies should work. And the problem is they don't work. That's people die and people lose the money that they work hard for. But hey, what the heck? Just come up with another one because you might get reelected with this one.
As I was studying economics, I kind of imagined it like a fly pinned to a board. Okay, the economy. And the thing is, you can pin the fly to a board in one place and the fly can live. But if you pin the fly to the board in 2 places, it'll start tearing itself apart as it moves. You know, and the more pins you put in the top in the fly, and by pins I'm talking about price controls, and it can be any rigid price control. It doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
It's just one more point. It's driving another stab wound through the belly of the economy and pinning it to the board in one more place, and it's just going to tear itself apart.
And when they talk about changes to minimum wage, when they talk about having a minimum wage, that is a price control. That's all you're doing.
Absolutely.
Is government, somebody is saying that we are going to micromanage the economy, and this is the correct number.
You're controlling the price of labor,
right,
in that case.
We're going to go to the phones.
And the thing is, you can't make labor more valuable by decree.
Right.
It's as valuable as it is.
Yeah.
So if you when you pass a minimum wage, then basically you're saying that the dollar is worth less of that actual value of the labor. You know, so you're really devaluing the dollar against
labor.
Against labor, yes.
We're going to go to the phones where we've got Jimmy in Missouri. Jimmy, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Hey, can you hear me all right?
I can.
Sir. All right. Well, I kind of hit the jackpot. I got nobody.
Woo! Yeehaw.
Yep. Hey, I was wondering about Edge Wallet. I know you guys ain't tech support or anything on it, but I tried to do a quick Google search and couldn't find anything satisfactory, really. But I was wondering about, if I had my Bitcoin on my phone,
okay,
and my phone was completely irrecoverable, could I still recover my Bitcoin?
Yeah, you can, not just with Edge Wallet, but with every decent Bitcoin and cryptocurrency wallet. Whenever you start a crypto wallet, whether it's Edge or another one, there's always going to be a backup process that you need to go through. So when you start Edge, for instance, it'll give you warnings that say, hey, you got to write down your information, or else if you lose your phone, you're going to be in trouble.
Heed those warnings.
Yeah, so when it warns you about those things, you really ought to do what it says. In the case of Edge Wallet, all you have to write down is your username and password, and then you're good to go. You just keep that in a place that's separate from your wallet. So some people will try to cut corners on this, and they'll say, oh, I'll just put it in my phone. No,
right.
no.
I'll just screenshot it.
Yeah, screenshot. No, bad security, very bad plan. But you got to write it down. If you got like a super secret place where you keep things, maybe you've got a fireproof safe.
I mean, don't you have to... Can't you generate wallet words as well? Because if you've just got a username and password, then you're not holding your own keys.
Well, so Edge doesn't have your password, right? So they've somehow hashed out your keys into, I don't know exactly what technology they're using, but yes, you can actually get the words for each individual wallet within Edge. So if you have a Bitcoin wallet, if you have a Monero wallet, if you have a Stellar wallet in there, you can get all the words for all of those. You really can do a really deep dig backup if you want to, but for your typical user that's not storing their life savings in Edge, username and password will be sufficient so long as Edge stays in business, I think.
Yep.
Right. Well, that's the thing is, as long as it's a username and password, you're betting on Edge staying in business.
Yeah,
it becomes a very and I don't know anything about their business model.
Right. That's the key with anything in crypto. They're getting access to your private keys, what allows you to send or spend the coins that you have. That is ownership, and it can be done with Edge Wallet. Now, I don't put, if I had $1 million, no offense, and Edge is a sponsor, I wouldn't put it in an Edge Wallet on my cell phone and leave it there.
No, I wouldn't either.
There are other much more secure ways to store cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin.
And there are different kinds of use cases for wallets that cause. I mean, there's a difference between your recreational wallet, and your deep freeze.
Yes.
And your investments, which you might be keeping some money on an exchange and moving it around from coin to coin, as an investment, but
so Jimmy,
that's a different use case.
My rule of thumb is I don't keep more money in Edge Wallet or any other wallet that's going to sit on my cell phone than
I can't afford to lose.
Then I can't keep. Okay. Then I keep in my leather wallet, which I carry around everywhere.
Right.
So there are times when I might have a couple $100 in cash, and I don't have a problem because I know I might lose it, and I also might lose access to a particular crypto wallet. I'm only going to lose a couple $100.
Yeah, if you lose your leather wallet, it's going to be inconvenient. It's going to be frustrating, but it's not going to likely be the end of the world.
Right.
Whereas if you put $1 million in any phone wallet, whether it be Edge or Exodus or any of the other ones.
It's funny that you say that because I actually lost a wallet one time that had 2 ounces of silver in it.
Damn it! Oh man. Now that hurts. That really hurts.
Yeah. I was on vacation too.
Yeah, luckily I
had enough cash in my pocket to get home.
I'm glad to hear that. Hey Jimmy, thanks for your call.
And I'll tell you, I personally advise people to hold some precious metal as well as crypto.
Indeed.
Goldbacks.
We're going to go back to the phones where we got Bern in Brooklyn. Bern, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Hello.
Hi, Bern.
Hi.
Hi, this is Bern. This is Bern from Brooklyn, and I want to talk about Trump and Iran.
All right, let's do it.
So,
in a moment.
What I really hate about Trump dropping this.
Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Oh, you hit the wrong button there, Chris.
Dang it.
Bad move.
Bern, call back. That was my mistake. 855 450 free. Please tune in and enjoy Chris accidentally dumping phone calls left and right. It happens every week, but hey, we'll find out.
Lime in the coconut.
My Lyme disease is showing through. This is Free Talk Live.
Do you like going to your job every day? Can you set your own schedule and take long vacations whenever you want? Are you free to do whatever you want in your dating or sex life? I'm Caleb Jones, and I've taught hundreds of thousands of men how to create low-work, high-income businesses and how to date women under your terms. Watch our free on-demand replay training with me so you can learn how to create location-independent income and date women the way you want. Go to alpha.freetalklive.
Shortly after accidentally clicking like on nearly 400 of his ex-girlfriend's Facebook photos earlier today, panicked area man Adam Nuensing spoke to Onion reporters about his mistake.
Damn it, I was just looking at one of Rebecca's Instagram photos that showed up in my news feed, and the next thing I know, I just liked every single photo that she posted over the last 4 years. I didn't mean to, but it just kind of happened.
The 28-year-old told reporters that he had browsed through 14 of his ex-girlfriend's photo albums while inadvertently clicking like on each and every picture, including dozens from her office picnic last fall, her trip to New York in 2010, and a photo of her and her first boyfriend from 2006.
I thought if I went back and clicked unlike on all those pictures that maybe she wouldn't get any notifications, but then I saw some other albums and I ended up liking 80 more photos and shared them on my wall. Shit.
This is the Onion News Network.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is novelist Tom Robbins. When my mother was diagnosed with glaucoma, her conservative Virginia physician told her there was only one treatment that might ease her pain and save her eyesight. That treatment was medical marijuana, which he could not prescribe. I offered to get her some and teach her how to use it effectively, but my father objected because marijuana was against the law. So my mother, who loved to read and walk in nature, was condemned to grow cruelly, unnecessarily blind. Tragedies like this happen all the time, but they don't have to keep happening. To learn more about medical marijuana, call the Marijuana Policy Project at 1-877-JOIN-MPP or visit them on the web at mpp.org.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. That's our toll-free number. That's 855-450-3733. They got us rocking tonight.
Yeah, man.
It's been like the second time.
Crank it out.
Loving that music. Crank it up. What the heck? I mean, in studio, it's Chris.
It's Ian.
Nobody.
And I wanted to tell you about ForkFest. ForkFest, it's coming up fast. People are getting excited. Join liberty-minded voluntarists, anarchists, and libertarians from June 29th to July 5th. Mark your calendar for ForkFest 2020 at Rogers Campgrounds in the beautiful White Mountains of New Hampshire. ForkFest happens this week, the week after Porcupine Freedom Festival, or PorkFest. And ForkFest, here's the difference. ForkFest is decentralized. It means no one is in charge. That also means there's no ticket cost. So all you got to do is reserve your camping RV site, your motel room. Do that with Rogers Campgrounds from June 29th to July 5th. And you'll be able to join us and celebrate Independence Day with other liberty lovers. And you can do stuff. You can just go camping. That's fun too. But if you want to do an activity, you want to do what somebody else wants to share, that's fun. It's a blast. If you are planning an event for ForkFest, be sure to let others know about it in advance. You can connect with other ForkFesters via the unofficial Telegram chat or the ForkFest forums. Links to those are on the unofficial website, forkfest.party. That's
I don't know if I like ForkFester.
ForkFester, Uncle Fester.
Yeah, it's a little bit Uncle Fester and a little bit festering wound.
Right.
Fester isn't a word we want.
Yeah.
This is not the word you're looking for.
And I can say there's nothing festering about ForkFest. It's just I had a great time, and it's just neat to be able to see people that you may know of them. Some celebritarians though show up there. I mean, that's exciting. Some people find that exciting.
Some people find me exciting.
They do. We're going to go to the phones where I promise not to dump Burn for at least as long as.
You mean you accidentally dropped him before?
I promise not to accidentally drop him.
Yeah.
I don't.
This
promise.
time you're going to feel the burn.
We're going to find out. Burn, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Burn.
Really?
See, there it goes. I thought. See, now I'm just
Why did you do that?
I thought I heard something. I heard a loud noise.
I think you just said hi, Vern, or something like that. He got like 3 words out.
I'm going to use a police line. I feared for my life.
All right, well, you're in charge, man. You can do what you want.
Did you hit the dump button?
Yeah,
no, he hit the drop button.
I hit the drop button.
Why did you hit the drop button?
Because I thought so. Burn is in our toxic user group on Discord. And
yeah, I mean, he's probably going to say something inappropriate, but you didn't even give him a chance.
No, I didn't. I thought when he first started to yell, I could catch it and I'd just drop it out. So Burn, if you want to call back, I promise this time I won't.
Third time's the charm.
Dump you.
You're like Lucy with the football.
I'll give you a chance. I'm honest. I'm sincere here, Burn. I mean, please try to call back in, and I'll put you
Well,
right
if we're not
through.
feeling the burn, then maybe we shouldn't encourage the burn to call. I don't know.
No, he wants to call, and if he
Are
wants to
you feeling the burn though?
I've never really felt the burn.
Hey,
You've
let's
never
talk about.
felt the burn.
I've still got more to this story about this business owner in Denver
talking about the impact of the minimum wage.
Yeah,
and what did they raise it to again?
I imagine it's on the way up to 15. That's my guess, but it's currently, they step it up year after year. Currently, according to westword.com, the minimum wage has gone up from $11.10 an hour to $12.85 an hour for non-tipped employees. But they also have to raise the wage of tipped employees.
Right.
And tipped employees must be no more than $3.03 less than the non-tipped rate. So they had to raise that up too.
Yeah. And it's absolutely absurd that there should be a minimum wage for tipped employees. You should be able to go and work for nothing but tips if you want to. There are plenty of places where that has been a business model and where people have been happy to make
commission only.
Yeah.
Because of the governor.
Like really good restaurants, traditionally, they didn't pay you to be a waiter. You went in there and you competed to be the guy they let wait tables so that you could take home those tips. And sometimes you were taking home hundreds of dollars in a night.
And if you're not that good of a waiter, you're not going to get paid a lot of money in tips. That is very pure. You are rewarded immediately. And if you're not good at something, you're going to find yourself out on your butt. Now, if you keep hiking the minimum wage, then what? So now you're going to pay somebody a lot more money, where before the customers were paying them. Now it's the responsibility of the business owner. It really does makes it very difficult for a tipping model to work.
You want more?
Yeah. Sure.
So the owner of the business, Ms. Lukanik, notes that almost every full-service restaurant in Denver is in the same position as she is. So just in case you're just tuning in, she stopped. There's a 40-year-long running restaurant. She got rid of dinner time and fired roughly 7 out of 35 employees. She says almost every other restaurant's in the same position, but she at least felt prepared for the changes because of her background in restaurant management. She had purchased Chef Zorba's in 2018 after a career in restaurant operations with big players like Richard Sandoval, don't know who that is. Projecting, she says, was my business, asking where we're going to come up with the money for future changes, she recalls. So last fall, when the city first announced its intentions to raise minimum wages, the owner began looking at her numbers. She says, on a Saturday or Sunday, we have 5 straight wage earners in back and 8 tipped employees in the front. She says, since I've owned Zorba's, I've yet to have a server leave with less than $100 in tips on any given day, and it's frequently double that. And keep in mind, we're a humble little diner. What full-service restaurateurs take issue with is we're being forced to pay our tipped employees more, even though they're already the highest paid employees on the staff. And increasing prices to cover higher wages isn't really a valid solution, since higher prices on the menu equate to higher tips too. She says, and I pay taxes on those tips, and servers pay taxes on those tips. It's considered income when it comes to taxation, but it's not considered income in the eyes of the government when it comes to minimum wage.
Right. And this all changed probably about 20 years ago, how the government looked at tips and what they expected of employees. When I was still working on the floor in restaurants, they changed it so you were supposed to nudge, nudge, wink, wink, report all your tips you received. Then the government changed it, and they said, well, you just have to report 8% of, I can't remember how it went. It was 8% of total revenues of the restaurant for the period you were working. So they would tell you how much tip you should have received and tax you on it. It's crazy. It's insanity.
Indeed. Looking further into the numbers, she determined that the average guest check at Zorba's would have to go from the current $13 up to $23 in order to cover the cost of giving all the front-of-the-house employees a 22% raise. She said, would you be willing to pay $23 for pancakes and coffee? Well, would you?
No, and people wouldn't. People would stop going to restaurants in Denver, and that's what happens. And then those people that used to have a lower wage job but still had a job, and they could have improved and the restaurant could have succeeded. Now they're just going to be out of work. That's
just
what
cutting
you
the
get.
legs out from under people.
It's unbelievable, and it's as bad as what is happening in Venezuela. It's the government feeling that they are better judges of what goes on in economies than you are, and that's not right. 855-450-FREE. What do you think? Give us a call. This is Free Talk Live.
When you have a pain in the neck, a real pain in the neck, back, shoulder, or legs, you now have 2 convenient choices to get fast relief without taking another pill. Because now, Sunny Bay heating wraps and pillows are available at both Amazon and Walmart. Yes, see Sunny Bay's 4.5 to 5-star customer reviews on Amazon.com or Walmart.com. Our made in the USA microwavable heat wraps, heatable neck pillows, and extra large body wraps are designed better for perfect support where and when you need it. Even while driving, Sunny Bay wraps will not burn and stay balanced to provide soothing hot or cold therapy to help treat temporary or chronic pain. And the best part? Sunny Bay quality products start at under $20. Join thousands of happy customers and see why Sunny Bay products have a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy. It's easy. Click Amazon or Walmart and search today for Sunny Bay.
Would you like to get back that full head of hair from years past? Introducing Reveal from GCNLife.com. Beverly Hills dermatologist Dr. Nathan Newman invented Reveal, which contains polypeptides with natural botanicals and no parabens, sulfates, silicones, or dyes for a salon-quality hair growth product. Reveal. Here's Dr. Newman.
I have treated a lot of patients who lose their hair and they lose their confidence. We've created a unique set of polypeptides, which we call HPT6. The HPT6 contains the polypeptides from 6 different plants. The scalp infusion treatment should be used on wet or dry scalp. The Reveal hair care system is designed to be used for men and women alike.
Get Reveal at GCNLife.com with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So try Reveal today at GCNLife.com or 844-443-6637. Plus a discount up to 25% off for Reveal at GCNLife.com or 844-443-6637.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. That is our toll-free number, 855-450-3733. You can also check out Discord. Discord, a very cool app, and you will sound like you are in the studio with us. It really works great. Find out more at discord.lrn.fm. In studio, it's Chris.
And Ian.
And nobody.
And we have been talking about this, what sounds like a great restaurant in Denver. It just, the description made me want to go there and eat. I mean, it's this Greek diner. I mean, and they do, from all accounts, a really good job. And I guess a combination of federal, state, and local Denver politics has decided how much all employees should make, and that makes it very difficult. Made it very difficult for them to exist as a business, and she's looking at shutting parts of.
She did shut. The dinner's gone. They're gone.
Right.
Dinner's gone.
Dinner's gone so far, and see how long she can last. Is there more on this? Or?
There is, but we got some calls waiting, so we can.
All right. Well, we're going to give this a try. We are going to go to the Discord where we've got North. North, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Did you? Ooh, he just disappeared.
Now
that's his. Now he's back. Wait, now he's back.
North, are you there?
Now he's disappeared again.
Okay. See, he's doing to me
games.
What I did
now
with
he's playing.
him.
Well, that's fair. I mean, that's fair. But we don't have time for it.
That's all right. We're going to go to Patrick in Florida. Patrick, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Oh, good evening, gentlemen.
Hi,
Thank
Patrick.
you for taking my call.
No problem.
Thank you. Hey, I'd like to talk about immigration, if that's all right.
Talk about whatever you like. It's Free Talk Live.
Yeah, Free Talk Live, obviously. Hey, listen, it turns out that when you, I don't know what kind of jobs you guys have. Well, actually, I do know what kind of jobs you guys have. You guys are on the radio. But I'm a blue-collar guy.
Okay.
You guys talk on the radio for a living.
Well, it doesn't pay the bills. I have to have another full-time job or two.
Do you?
Sure.
I imagine. Yes. Hey, but what I'm trying to point out is that most of these people that are for these open borders immigration policies,
okay,
they're not competing with immigrants. I happen to have to compete with immigrants. I'm a pool guy. I scrape out swimming pools for a living.
Okay.
And we should not allow any more immigration for 10 years.
You think that would?
The thing is, what you're arguing there for there is a price control on pool services. Who are the existing pool cleaners of America to say nobody else is allowed to compete with me? People should be forced to pay my price.
I mean, the other Americans are allowed to compete with me, but we shouldn't let a bunch of other people from countries that have much lower standards of living to come and compete with me.
Well, they're living in the United States now. Now they experience the higher standard of living. Now, if they don't charge as much, then they're probably not going to be able to afford the same things that you may be able to afford. But they're trying to get a small business off the ground.
But you understand that's hold on, fella. You understand that's going to drive down my standard of living. Yes.
Well, I mean, that's something that happens in a free market. For example, if I'm in the process of opening up a convenience store.
Not necessarily, though, because whatever they're taking in, they're also probably spending, and so it's just one more turnover.
Say that again. Say that again. You have to excuse me. I'd like to hear that from the top.
I'm saying that when you add more people to an economy, it doesn't necessarily. It's not like there's a fixed amount of work to be done in an economy. So when you add people, you do add them as producers, and they compete with other producers.
Right.
But you also add them as consumers, and so they compete with other consumers to consume goods.
In consumption,
so there's no right number of of workers to have in an economy.
You have never been. You just don't get it.
Well, let me ask you a question.
It sounds like he understands economics pretty well.
Well,
actually.
I do get it, and I've seen that happen. I used to be very highly paid as a computer programmer.
May I speak, please?
You may speak,
gentlemen?
and will you allow me to speak when you're done? Go ahead.
Yes. Hey, listen. I think the you have never been competed. They're competing. They're not competing with people that are reprogramming. They're not competing against. Yeah, it's hard. They're not competing against people that are doing electrical work. But what they are competing against is guys that are doing landscaping, or for in my example, pool work,
pool cleaning.
Sure.
And they're not.
What?
I don't know of any doctors that are up in arms about, man, all these Swedes come over here and they take all the good neurosurgery jobs. That's not the question. The question is
don't you care about your countrymen?
No, I care about freedom.
I do, but
why should I care about somebody who lives in the same country as I more than I care about somebody else? It's just a stranger to me. I have no reason to prefer American strangers.
Okay, you said I could ask.
Just anybody can do it, right? It doesn't matter who they are.
Yeah, would you be angry if a teenager came in and started competing with you on pool cleaning? Somebody from down the street?
Yeah.
Not if he was smart.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So you're fine being outcompeted by somebody who was born nearby you, but you don't like being outcompeted by somebody who was born further away?
Why should I be okay with being artificially drawn down by guys?
It's not artificial. It's natural. Somebody comes in and does a better job for less.
Dude, it's not natural.
Sure it is.
Of course
it's competition.
It is. People naturally move to the places where they are most needed.
Come on,
if
man.
I knew my pool cleaner was a bitch ass like you, I'd get rid of you.
No, that's not honest, dude.
No, that's honest.
Putting Guatemalans into Ohio is not not even Ohio. Let's speak where I'm living.
Okay, well, who are you? Who's putting them there? Is this Trump?
I bet they can speak better. Jesus.
Is Trump putting them in Ohio?
No, I misspoke, and I apologize for it. But taking Central Americans,
nobody's taking them. They're coming all by themselves.
They're coming. They see opportunity.
So that's natural. That's like gazelles migrate too, and that's natural also.
Are you telling me these brown people are like gazelles?
I'm telling you that people are like other animals in that we migrate all over the globe.
They go where.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a quick question.
You punked yourself there, fella. You're exactly right. They're going to where their life is easiest.
What's wrong with that?
Would you be where you are doing what you do if there were no pools?
Don't we owe it to ourselves? Don't we owe it to ourselves to be good to our progeny and to the people around us?
Well, you don't want that. You want people. You want everybody to be good.
People here.
Everybody's talking at the same time, so he can't listen to you, Chris, if he keeps talking.
You guys talk.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Why should everybody else have to make life easy for you? That's what you're asking. You're wanting everyone to, even though the Guatemalan crew will clean your pool for less money, make that illegal. pay my higher prices because I was born in the country. Therefore, everyone else should suffer.
What an entitlement mentality.
Yeah,
Thanks for the call.
Thanks a lot, man.
Find something else to do, bro.
Yeah, get some new skills.
And that's what is happening in this country. People are learning that the only constant is change, and you're going to change and adapt, or you will not do well. 855 450 free.
Learn to speak.
Radio host, maybe. This is Free Talk Live.
Ike was such a sweet, lovable animal, and people would want to pet him, and they'd come up and they'd get close to him, and it would be this instant, oh! My dad didn't want to touch him. It's like, ooh, get the stinky dog away from me.
Even after we'd give her a bath, she would still stink.
Very stinky, both bad breath and bad gas. I asked the vet, and he said some dogs are just stinky.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa.
The digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
The ingredients convinced me that it was definitely worth trying. After about a week, he started smelling normal. My husband and I were really kind of astonished.
Dinovite is nutrition.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,554, silver at $17.96, and Bitcoin is trading around $8,674. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, after repeated threats from President Donald Trump to sanction Iraq, to seize its primary bank account, and cut all military aid, Iraqi Prime Minister Adel Abdul Mahdi has backed away from calls to expel U.S. troops from Iraq. Iraq's parliament voted 170-0 earlier this month on the ouster, though U.S. officials have said they don't intend to leave and have denied actually being asked to. Following the threats, Abdul Mahdi now says he wants to leave the question up to the next government. That could take some time, as Abdul Mahdi nominally resigned last month, and there is meant to be work on reforming election law and holding fresh elections, meant to placate the anti-government protesters. There's no timetable in place for any of those moves, and efforts seem to have all but stopped since the U.S. attack on Baghdad airport. Activist Post reports the U.S. has cut joint operations with Iraq shortly thereafter, fearing they'd quickly get into fighting after that. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. The infamous United Kingdom Police Department, Scotland Yard, is refusing to reveal Prince Andrew's location on the night that he is accused of being with Virginia Giuffre, one of the young girls trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein, who was underage at the time she claims the Duke had sex with her. Members of the royal family are regularly accompanied by police guards in their day-to-day activities, and there are records of where and when the officers were sent, or at the very least a record of which officers worked on which day. If the records were to be made available to investigators, they could easily determine where Prince Andrew was on the night in question. But police are saying that handing over such information could pose a threat to national security. The Mind Unleashed reports that during his disastrous BBC interview, Andrew claimed that he was at a Pizza Express in Woking on the night that then 17-year-old Giuffre says the pair visited a club and later had sex. This week, Air Force General John J. Raymond was sworn in as the Chief of Space Operations for the new United States Space Force. While it was initially reported as somewhat of a joke when Donald Trump first announced it, the U.S. Space Force is a very real thing and is now the 7th military branch of the Pentagon. The Mind Unleashed reports that on Tuesday, Raymond was sworn in by Vice President Pence at his ceremonial office. The Space Force will be comprised of roughly 16,000 officers and other personnel from the U.S. Air Force and U.S. Space Command. In fact, Raymond is himself a commander of both the Air Force Space Command and the U.S. Space Command, possibly signaling that the agencies will be working very closely and consisting of many of the same members. In addition to the personnel from other agencies, the Space Force was granted $40 million through the 2020 National Defense Authorization Act. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Hours spent volunteering at a local homeless shelter truly make her death at the hands of a drunk driver earlier this week all the harder to take for this school and this community.
I never knew Amanda, but everywhere I went there were touching reminders of the caring friend she would have been to me had I known her.
Losing Amanda was one of the hardest things I've ever had to deal with, but I knew I had to be strong for this community. I couldn't let them go through the funeral without my support.
She's so much better than all of us. She was so much good. She cared about so many people. She loved you so much. What's your name? She loved you, Russell.
And we have Brady Shaw with us right now.
Thanks, Brooke.
Not quite how I would have reported the story. Seems a bit unprofessional to let yourself get so emotional.
Well, when people are feeling pain, I feel it too. Don't you ever get emotionally invested in a story?
No, I don't. You know, I had my tear ducts cauterized years ago, and I like to keep my emotions stored in a special place in my mind where they only come out for my night terrors.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. That's free as in freedom, 855-450-3733. Thank you for joining us in hour number 3. We do 3 hours of live, real, open phones radio every night of the year. So tune in any time between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern, and you will hear good, compelling thought from a libertarian point of view generally. But it doesn't matter if your point of view differs from ours. We want to share what we think, and we want to hear what you think. That's the most important thing. And I do want to thank Henry K. Henry K. is a silver amplifier. That means he has pledged $5 a month, and that's a good thing. to the show so we can go out and get on more radio stations. Now, us just getting on more radio stations, that doesn't put money in our pocket. What it does do is allows the ideas that we're talking about and the conversations we have with people like you to get in more people's ears, and that's well worth it. We think it's a good way to spread the message and the ideas of liberty, and we thank you, Henry K. I appreciate it. In studio, it's Chris.
Yeah, it's Ian.
And nobody.
And we were just, we were kind of talking offline a little bit about what's going on in Virginia, and it's been crazy. A lot of people are coming down on Virginia for making a lot of moves to take away people's right to defend themselves. People will always say, well, it's all about the Second Amendment. You know what the Second Amendment does? What rights the Second Amendment grants? It doesn't grant anything. You have a right just by being human to defend yourself. No law was ever written that said you are now granted the right to possess a firearm. You can now carry a knife. If someone attacks you, you have the right granted by us, the government, to do something about it. It's not anything to do with government. It's part of the human condition. You possess this. No one has to tell you you have a right to defend yourself against someone who may do you harm. It's as simple as that. Government doesn't have any rights to grant. That's not what governments do. What the Second Amendment is about is trying to put a restriction on government. It's not taking something or not giving you anything. It's taking away from the government the ability to deny you your natural rights. That's what it's all about. We're not coming to
take away your government. We just want to have some common sense government control.
I like that. So, Ian, you dug up some stuff.
Okay, it's not true. We are coming to take away your government.
And you know what we're going to do then? And then we're going to leave you alone after we control it.
Yeah, but people can have as much government as they want. I mean, if they want to hire somebody to tell them what to do, by all means.
Hire Mr. Spanks-a-Lot to tell you what to do.
Who is that?
Mr. Spanks-a-Lot. She's the arbitrary dominatrix that you could potentially hire to tell you what to do.
Oh, you said mistress. Okay,
I
thought you said
Mr. Spanks-a-Lot.
Yeah, I thought it was Mr. Spanks-a-Lot. Okay. That's a whole different story. If you say Mr. Spanks-a-Lot, it makes me think of one thing. If you say Mistress Spanks-a-Lot, it makes me think another.
It's interesting.
Well, different strokes for different folks. But the point is, you can hire anybody you want to tell you what to do.
By the way, we have to announce something tonight. The Discord is broken. The sound cards are not working, so we have to apologize to Byrne, who is having the toughest time calling into the show. Now, we think Byrne is...
Feel the burn.
We suspect Byrne's going to try to crank the show, but Chris, you hung up on him inadvertently twice.
Inadvertently twice.
He then calls on the Discord line. So he called on the phone lines twice. He then calls on the Discord lines. We joined the lines, but you didn't screen him beforehand, I don't think. I think you just took him on the air. You did screen him?
No, I didn't screen him.
Right.
We got disconnected over and over thanks to somebody.
Right,
me.
But you just took him on the air, and then he dropped out of the line. But I was watching, and I didn't see, like on Discord, when you're communicating with somebody, there's these little green outlines around your user.
It would show up indicating that I was speaking.
Right, and that wasn't showing.
That
wasn't showing. So I thought, oh, wow, something may be wrong. And so we did some testing during the news break. And yeah, the sound cards are all of a sudden broken on this computer. And so we cannot. So I see Wesley is in our top chat room there. We can't take Discord calls tonight. So if you want to call in, you have to call the toll-free lines at 855-450-FREE. That's the only way to get in. We have to go old school tonight.
And we are going to go old school. We're going to go to the phones where we've got Tim in New Hampshire. Tim, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Hello.
Jim, in the manner in which you speak to Patrick proves that neither of you are ministers of peace, love, or liberty.
Oh, this is not Tim. Hold on for a moment. This is James from Arizona.
Yes.
Yeah, and I
long
remember
time
my
no
code.
talk.
You
Okay.
remember your honor code, Chris?
Yes.
Anybody can call
What
and talk about
honor
anything
code?
they want.
I did not sign anything called an honor code. Were you in the military?
You
My
know what the
headphones are
military
off.
honor code is.
I'm out for this.
And you should take it to heart whether you're in or out of the military and whether or not you agree with the military or not about anything.
No. I'm
Or the
still
government. You
asking
should
what
take
the
that to
honor
heart.
code was. Can you repeat the honor code for me?
Anyway, Patrick's call is illuminating how, the poor guy doesn't care about price and quantity or supply versus demand. He doesn't get any of that stuff. But he is onto something as to why people are tribal, and they do like people that they grew up with.
Okay.
And they don't like people coming from thousands of miles away to score their jobs because they undercut them as far as labor goes. I can sympathize with that guy, even though I know exactly where you're coming from because I have an education. But I should also like to say about something else. And I'm curious that Rich Paul didn't point out that I'm glad you agree that we were attacked on 9/11, that it wasn't an inside job, or that the government let it happen. You don't share any of those lunatic, despicable conspiracy theories like fittingly nobody actually believes and isn't doing anything about it if the government and people committed mass murder from our country and not from the Middle East.
Well,
Osama bin Laden fanatics that believe the Quran and the Hadith are based on a true story that commands true believers to murder people that don't agree with them. I'm glad you don't agree.
Go ahead.
Go ahead and speak, and I should like to respond.
Well, yeah, absolutely. That's how conversations happen. 9/11, to me, and it's just my opinion, it happened. People died on 9/11. Now, what the motivations were behind those people, I don't know. I know it was a sad day for a lot of families. I get that. It was a sad day for our country. But I don't know everything that happened.
Okay, can I respond to that?
Sure.
Since you really didn't say anything, you didn't disagree with me at all, but I already illuminated. It says why Osama bin Laden fanatics flew planes into the Pentagon, of which what I told the call screener is why I left the Libertarian Party is because of people like Mark Edge, who literally screamed over me in the public airwaves about how the people in the Pentagon deserved it. Leave aside there was an innocent man drone with hundreds of people on Flight 77 that were murdered, women and children, and the people in the Pentagon didn't deserve to be murdered, nor did any of the people in the two towers. Again, Osama bin Laden fanatics who take certain passages in the Quran and Hadith deadly serious, as young Muslim men that aren't peaceful at all have been doing for literally a millennia.
Oh.
That is why the Middle East is the most effed up part on planet Earth, because there are millions of people that take the stupid, sick stuff that Muhammad and his messengers said deadly serious. And it has nothing to do with American foreign policy or American foreign troops.
I am actually going to put your call. I got to go to a break, but I got to put your call on hold, James. We're going to continue this conversation. 855-450-FREE. It's like a voice from the past.
Well, he's not insulting or being completely awful, so he's actually talking about points that he actually believes, and so that's kind of
and we can debate
welcome.
that, and I'm welcome to those calls. This is Free Talk Live.
Have you heard of LibertyCon? LibertyCon is not only a convention with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO and co-founder John Mackey and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith, but it's also unique because you get a chance to network with more than 70 pro-liberty organizations, one-on-one for the purpose of career advancement, business, and internship opportunities. April 3rd through 5th in Washington, D.C. You can learn more by visiting libertycon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on your registration. That's libertycon.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite.
Dynavite is nutrition.
Pick up 2 bottles of Lico Chops, get the 3rd bottle free.
New improved LicoChaps with omega-3, omega-6, vitamin E.
And now, 6 extra direct-fed microbials.
Even better for the digestive tract and immune system.
Try LicoChaps. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dinovite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project early movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. 855-450-FREE. That's our toll-free number. That's 855-450-3733. I just wanted to make sure I could make sure the board op heard me when I came back. This is Chris in studio.
It's also Ian, and taking a break, we have nobody still in the studio, but because of the current caller, he has opted out of hosting the show at this time.
I understand, and
this is the only caller that has actually engendered that response in Free Talk Live hosts. It has never happened prior to this caller, and has never happened since this particular caller, Mark. I believe Mark was the first to do it. Daryl also did it, and now nobody is also.
Well, and honestly, this is the first time I've taken a call from James in Arizona in 2 years. Maybe.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't.
Wow.
I haven't taken a call from him. I know he's tried to call in, but for James to talk to us, he had to be deceitful. He had to call him and say he was Tim from New Hampshire.
So would you have not taken his call if it had said James in Arizona?
I would have. What I've always done, my policy has been, well, I know what James is going to talk about, so I'm going to take any other caller first. And if I have time left, I don't, because
in this case he was the only caller, I believe, on the line at that time.
Yeah, but in any case, we ended up talking to James, and James is being pretty reasonable right now. Now, you like to point out, and you did point out, where you disagree with people that deny what you believe are facts. So you believe.
They are facts.
Well,
They
hold
are
on,
facts
hold on.
that Osama
Give me a
bin Laden
chance. Give me a
fanatics
chance to.
murdered 3,000 people on 9/11.
Okay, so
did that sum up what I've already said? Good enough, so that you don't have to.
You have said
And
that as a fact.
may
No, but I want to take a
being
chance.
deceitful.
I want to get a word in
May I
here.
respond?
Please.
May I
You
respond?
don't like
Speaking of
when.
being deceitful.
Okay, if
Speaking of being deceitful, can I respond to that?
You were
You said it.
deceitful. I'm sorry. Are you Timmy in New Hampshire? If you are not Timmy in New Hampshire, then you
May I
were
respond to
defeated.
the speaking
No,
of being
no.
deceitful?
You said no. I just want to ask you a question. You don't like people who are deniers in your mind, and I understand that, and I don't like it
No, I
either.
hate them. I hate them.
Okay. Do
Denying
you
what?
agree or disagree that there is blowback that occurs against governments by other governments, by other people
Yes,
in the country?
I absolutely, positively do not deny that some people murder their fellow human beings, and you call it blowback. But you wouldn't call it blowback if somebody you knew or loved were murdered by those people. You use it because that's a political philosophy of yours.
No. It's a fact. From my point of view, blowback absolutely occurs. And you deny that
Charles Johnson myself. Okay, I know all about it. I reject
I don't
that
know who that
theory
is.
out of hand.
Okay.
Okay, but let me say, ladies and gentlemen in the audience, I did fib. I told him I was Tim. You know why?
Can I call you Timmy?
The very first time I called in to talk to, Daryl W. Perry, I was banned forever by him for something I don't believe. Not to mention I was banned not once but twice by a so-called minister for me wanting to respond to an outright lie about me having 3 Dewey's. I was banned for great lengths of time because of that, when those things aren't even true.
So
Speaking
let's
of
clear
insults.
these things
Speaking
up.
of insults,
You're still here
I'm not
now.
the one that ever
You've been
insults
unbanned,
anybody.
and usually you get banned because you do things that are really
I got
unacceptable.
banned based on a lie that you're not sorry for having ever spoken. You're not a minister.
You didn't get
He's
banned
no longer
over your
liberty. You're a
DUIs?
liar. You're a lying sack. But may I respond to the stuff about 9/11?
You got banned for threatening people
Tens of thousands of
and
troops
being boring.
in South Korea, tens of thousands of troops in Germany, thousands in Japan.
Yep.
They've never been victims of blowback. You know why? Because those countries aren't overpopulated by a bunch of young men that take psychotically sadistic, hateful passages in the Quran and
Hold on,
Hadith
are they
every
bombing
serious.
Japan?
They don't-
Are they bombing Korea?
Are we attacking
No,
these countries?
None of those
or-
countries are. Our troops are under no threat from the locals at all. But when they're in the Middle East, they are, because the same people that hate Americans also hate Jews for existing, because they don't take their Hadith and their Quran deadly serious like they do. There are hundreds of millions of people, Chris, in the Middle East that think 9/11 was a really cool day.
They do.
And we're glad that infidels were mass murdered.
I get it. A
That-
lot of people, and
not
I understand that
because
point of view.
being over there,
But what you have
because
always
of the
asserted
Quran
with
and
me
Hadith.
is that none of what we have done in response has caused blowback. You've repeated this repeatedly.
Respond
James,
to why there is no blowback in Germany, Japan, or South Korea, or you're a liar.
the
You can't
United
respond to it. That's why
States
you're
has
not.
never.
And that's why Rich Paul isn't responding to me, because he knows he's
Hey,
a coward
James,
and
thanks
a
for
liar
your
and a
call.
fool.
He asks you to respond and then keeps talking.
Right, he talks right over me. All I wanted to say was, when did the United States attack South Korea? This was the core of his. Those people are fine with it. Well, when did the United States ever attack the South Koreans? We're going to stay on the phones where we've got Wesley calling in from New Hampshire. I believe this is Wesley and not really James from Arizona being deceitful. Wesley, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Hey, I wanted to talk about nobody's campaign for governor, but it seems like nobody's not in the studio. If he's around, then maybe you can bring him by. But
He's back.
I just take my headphones off when James is on the air. I don't deal with James. James is dead to me.
Yeah, he's kind of a character. But welcome back to Keene. It's good to have you back.
No, I'm kind of a character. He's a waste of skin.
So are you still running for governor of New Hampshire?
I am still running for governor because nobody should govern you but you.
And you're running as are you affiliated with the party?
I'm running as a libertarian Republican.
Okay.
I'm running in the Republican primary to replace John Sununu.
The incumbent.
I'm sorry, Chris Sununu.
I always confuse it too.
Yeah.
Replace all the Sununus. You're okay in my book, so that's okay.
Yep. And my campaign slogan is "Nobody should rule you but you."
Kind of catchy.
And the website?
Website is electnobody.com. And there will be more coming out of the campaign shortly. I've just gotten back from visiting my family, and I'm still getting up to speed.
So, all right, and then people can donate to your campaign through your website. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely.
And you take crypto?
I take crypto. I take whatever you want to give me.
Silver, gold, palladium.
You're mail me
much...
some ganja, whatever you want. I don't care. I'll find a use for it.
Hey, Wesley, thanks for your call. Go ahead. We're running out of time.
Okay. Before I go, I want to give a shout out to the LRN Discord. Those people in there are very cool. There's some trolls, but most of the people are very, very cool.
Well, that's very kind.
And you can join the LRN Discord at discord.lrn.fm.
Thanks, Wesley. Thanks for your call.
Peace, Wesley.
This is Free Talk Live.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit divvyproject.org. divvyproject.org. I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android in the App Store or at edge.app.
If you're looking for work, the person you are applying to is probably so swamped with applicants that he or she is tough to reach. So call early in the day, before 8 a.m., before the palace guards arrive. You'll need your prospect's direct number, and here's a sneaky way to get it. Suppose the company's main number is 555-5000. You should call 555-5012. When someone says, "Good morning, Pam Johnson," you should innocently say, "Oops, somebody here must have written this down wrong. I was calling for Tom Frederick. What's his direct number?" If the very next thing you hear isn't Pam giving you Tom's number, it may be, "Good morning, Tom Frederick." For more tips for job seekers and getting better results in all your day-to-day communication, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
My name is Jacob Hornberger. I'm president of the Future of Freedom Foundation, which Congressman Ron Paul awarded for having an outstanding freedom website. Write us at fff@fff.org, and we'll send you a free 3-month subscription to our monthly journal of libertarian essays and our booklet, Economic Liberty in the Constitution, which George Mason University economics professor Walter Williams praised in a recent column. That's fff@fff.org.
The LRN.FM's social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Free Talk Live.
For me, it's fighting negativity, and the negativity is
my thoughts in my head that are negative. And I had to learn to recognize when my thoughts were being negative, because most of my life, most of my thoughts were negative. Mm-hmm. So I had to become aware of when they were happening. And when I become aware of these negative thoughts pervading my thinking, I immediately fight them with positive thoughts. And most of the positive thoughts that I feed myself are positive affirmations about who I am, where I'm going, where I've come from.
Whenever I find myself thinking negatively, I don't consider it fighting the negative thoughts. I just consider it changing my train of thought. I just kind of change tracks to a positive thought and just focus on that.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM. Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. That's our toll-free number. That's 855-450-3733. I wanted to tell you about LibertyCon. LibertyCon is a unique LibertyCon convention, April 3rd to the 5th in Washington, D.C., for people who want to get together and network. You can talk about career advancement, business, internship opportunities, all kinds of things going on. There's going to be over 70 pro-liberty organizations there. You're going to hear from great speakers like John Mackey of Whole Foods, Vernon Smith, Nobel Prize winner in economics, Miriam Issa, pop culture expert, political commentator, Nassim Nicholas Taleb, author of The Black Swan. And it's going to be great. There's more. Just visit LibertyCon visit libertycon.com for more details on additional speakers and events, and use code FTL for a $10 discount on your registration. Student travel scholarships are still available, and discount rooms are available for everyone at the Marriott Marquis in Washington, D.C., so check it out. It's going to be a great conference. Save on registration at libertycon.com. Use coupon code FTL for a $10 discount. I think I stumbled through that sufficiently. I think we're just going to move on. In studio, it's Chris
and Ian
and nobody.
And a lot of eyes have been on Virginia. I was going to say North Virginia. See, this is really where I think either it's the hour or it's my Lyme disease. I've felt it lately.
It's the lime and the coconut.
It is, man, and it's. I'm thinking I may have to go on to my antibiotics regimen again to see if that knocks it out, because this is pretty much how it started last time. We've been talking about Virginia, and I know they've been covering it here on Free Talk Live. And
they covered it last night to some extent. I'm not sure how deep.
Yeah, but you have a story from...
There's been news, I guess, today.
Yes.
So I don't think they covered this last night. Breaking as of 3 hours ago, according to the BBC, FBI has arrested suspected neo-Nazis ahead of a Virginia gun rally that was, I guess, slated for Monday. One was a Canadian Army reservist who was fired in August over his ties to hate groups and has been suspected missing since, according to Canadian police. Virginia Governor Ralph Northam has declared a state of emergency in the city of Richmond ahead of the rally. He said law enforcement believes there was a threat of violence. Governor Northam announced a ban on guns in the state's capital area from Friday until Tuesday, citing threats of violence made ahead of the rally. The order also covers other weapons such as knives and sticks.
Yes.
So,
I'm just imagining, how are they going to enforce that? They're putting a ban on guns,
they're going to enforce
knives.
it with guns.
Well, no, I assume a ban applies to all people in Virginia. And you mean they're not going to deny the police the ability at the same time? Well, that would...
going to let the cops carry whatever weapons they need to, including, battering rams, armored personnel carriers, machine guns, death rays, whatever they got.
This is at this demonstration. What they're doing is what Virginia wants to do. They want to move.
You mean the state people?
The state of Virginia, the people who call themselves the state, they want to deny the right for anyone to possess arms that they feel are just, they don't have a right to possess.
Well, it's also worth pointing out here, the so-called state of emergency is what justifies this, right? Because you're supposed to have a right to bear arms. You're supposed to have, and I'm pretty sure if we pulled up the Virginia Constitution, I'm going to bet that there's a right to bear arms portion of the Virginia Constitution. There certainly is at the national level. We have one here in New Hampshire as well. And you're supposed to have that right. If you have a right, it means you're not supposed to ask permission. Because if you ask permission for something, you've converted what you thought was a right into a privilege. A privilege is something that you have to ask permission for from someone who is higher up than you that can grant you this privilege. They can bestow upon you the ability to have a gun. And if they can just take it away by an executive order, if this man with his pen, his fancy pen or his fancy hat or whatever, can simply say, well, now it's a state of emergency. It's an emergency. And so we're just going to go ahead and wipe out this whole right to bear arms within the capital region. Outside of that, it's fine. You can still have your guns for now. Of course, they're working on anti-gun legislation in Virginia, which is why they're having this protest in Virginia in the Capitol in the first place, is the Democrats have won the elections there apparently, and they're moving forward with their agenda.
Yeah, and it's all about the ability to fight back against the government. And that's what they don't seem to understand is the people say, oh, well, we can't have weapons of war in civilian hands. Well, I'm sorry, but if we're making war against the government, then exactly what we need to do that is weapons of war.
Correct. Virginia's Constitution, the Constitution of Virginia, Article 1, Bill of Rights, Section 13, militia, standing armies, military subordinate to civil power. This is sort of their editorial. It reads that a well-regulated militia composed of the body of the people trained to arms is the proper and natural safe defense of a free state. Therefore, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, that standing armies in times of peace should be avoided as dangerous to liberty, and that in all cases the military should be under strict subordination to and governed by the civil power.
Except under a state of emergency.
Exactly. Ignore what your state constitution says while we work on a better way of completely doing away with Section 13 of the Bill of Rights of the Constitution of Virginia.
The emergency isn't meant to be resolved. The emergency is meant to be permanent.
Yes.
And when has it not been some emergency in America?
Oh, there's a state of emergency that's pretty constant. In fact, if you, from what I understand, a lot of these states of emergency are actually enabled but never repealed, never ended. So you could argue that the U.S. government, for instance, is always under a state of emergency, and that's why they don't have to pay attention to the Constitution. Because, it's not like anybody's going to hold them responsible for this stuff, whatever it is they're doing.
Well, that's why we have the Second Amendment, though, so we can hold them responsible for this stuff eventually.
Well, and exactly what are they saying here, what they're worried about, right? Like, okay, so there's going to be a protest, and they're worried that armed people are going to come to the Capitol and do what? Are they worried they're going to get shot?
Yeah.
Are they worried they're going to have, fire bombings, bombing the buildings there? Because, those things could happen. And whether or not they declare a state of emergency isn't going to stop it. If somebody wants to show up there with guns or with bombs or whatever, then they're going to do that, right? Like, the governor declaring a state of emergency won't stop someone who's motivated to commit violence.
That's true. That's absolutely true. So, and I hate to use Wikipedia as a source because I don't know who wrote this stuff. So bear with me. But there was a declaration of a national state of emergency following 9/11. And it is still considered open.
Sure.
So we're still under that.
And you can go back, right, to other ones.
Well, yeah. Jimmy Carter in 1979, November 14th, he declared a state of emergency against the country of Iran and enacted some sanctions back then. That one is still open. That one's still valid. So we are still.
Was it an emergency when we overthrew their government in 1953?
That's a good question. And we're going to talk about that. 855-450-FREE. Does government in general overuse the idea that we'll fall for it's a state of emergency, so do what we say? This is Free Talk Live.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business, so make sure that they create a positive impression with Reputation Defender. What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with Reputation Defender. Call 800-831-0771 now. That's 800-831-0771. For your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with Reputation Defender. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-831-0771 to learn more. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771.
This is George Norrie from Coast to Coast AM and History Channel's Ancient Aliens. We support the amazing energy, nutrition, and skincare products from Jeunesse. Jeunesse products are designed by leading doctors in their field with natural ingredients and even stem cell technology. These products help your body perform and look better. Shop Jeunesse at gcnlife.com or call 1-844-443-6637. gcnlife.com or 844-443-6637.
The political world is a maddening cesspool of corruption and lies. Nobody tells the truth. Nobody keeps campaign promises. Nobody obeys the Constitution. Nobody puts the people first. How can we ever escape this web of tyranny? Vote for nobody.
Hi, my name is Nobody. I'm running for governor of New Hampshire because nobody knows how to live your life better than you do, and nobody deserves that kind of power. I want to put you back in control of your money, your lifestyle, your work, your body, and your life. Nobody should rule you but you. New Hampshire convicts many people of so-called crimes that should never have been prosecuted. If elected, I will pardon every victimless crime in New Hampshire history. This includes drug, gambling, prostitution, gun, and driving offenses. Nobody should have a criminal record when they have not harmed anybody.
Wouldn't it be nice to have nobody telling you what to do? Learn more at electnobody.com. electnobody.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE. That's our toll-free number, 855-450-3733. Still got another segment. You call now. We can still get you on the air. But first, I wanted to ask, are you aware of Divvy? The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to spend, earn, store, and exchange money in seconds. Divvy says you'll be able to send money around the globe in only a swipe and instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. There's no need to wait, though, as Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with their multi-tiered masternodes, allowing anyone to earn by supporting the Divvy network. When the new Divvy wallet launches, because of Divvy's relationship with Western Union, Divvy will be in 200 countries, including the United States. You can learn more at divvyproject.org. That's divvyproject.org. And we have been discussing what's going on in Virginia. It's been a, I don't like to use the word powder keg lightly, but a lot of gun rights activists are threatening Boogaloo. People are going to Virginia, and people want
the least serious sounding word for anything.
Yeah, it is. And
but sometimes you got to go to the big igloo.
Some group just came out and said, we just want to warn people that evidently Boogaloo is a word used, and they made it sound like it was exclusively a word created by white supremacists to indicate, what things that they are planning.
Okay, isn't it supremacist?
I don't know. That's a good question. Are they two different words?
Yeah.
Or is one not a word at all?
I think supremacist is not a word. I think
white
that's
supremacist. That's a good question.
I think it's supremacist.
Supremacist is not a word if it's spelled SUPREMIST, dictionary.com.
Yep.
Supremacist.
But yeah, it's really interesting because certainly they're going to use the word, but it's a perfectly cromulent word. I use the word, and it describes a particular thing, and it describes that particular thing regardless of the political leanings of the person who uses it. And the Boogaloo is it's what we used to call TEOTWAWKI, the end of the world as we know it. And
is that true? I mean, I thought the Boogaloo, from my understanding, is basically the idea of fighting with violence against the government. That it's finally time, right? But the end of the world, as we know, is more like a survivalist kind of thing where the S hits the fan and there's all kinds of things going on.
But it's the same sort of idea, and the idea of the bottom line is sooner or later the government is going to come with violence against us. And so
they're always coming with violence against us.
Well, right. Exactly. So it's the Boogaloo is so to some extent the onset of self-defense.
Yes. Well, yeah, the Boogaloo seems to be the moment at which the self-defense that you describe here is writ beyond the individual, meaning that you can see on occasion, you got the guy with the tank that drove through his town or whatever.
Colorado.
What was that called? Not Tank Man, but Tank Man was in China.
Killdozer.
Killdozer, that guy. And then there was another guy that went in and shot up a city council. There was a guy in New Hampshire.
You could say they went Boogaloo.
But
Yeah.
but it's not really the Boogaloo unless other people follow suit, I don't think.
Well, that is the hope of Boogalooists all over the country. I mean, they're hoping that basically what they're hoping is that people have finally had enough. People will actually do something about a government that's gone completely out of control, gone way beyond what we ever looked at government to be or do.
And it seems like, left and right, even if they disagree on what things the government is doing that are bad, they both seem pretty upset about what the government is doing. So what makes sense to me is, since the liberals hate the conservatives and the conservatives hate the liberals, maybe they should just get a divorce. Break up the federal government, let each state govern itself however it governs itself. And if you don't like the way your state behaves, move 3 states west or 3 states east. If you're a libertarian, move to New Hampshire.
Or try to change it. Yeah, I think it's great. And the best thing to do is to vote with your feet. Move somewhere else. The problem I think a lot of people are feeling is that there aren't many places left you can move to that are serious about protecting your rights and your freedom.
Yeah, and that's why it's a problem to have a federal government forcing all 50 jurisdictions in the United States to be the same.
And if you read the Bill of Rights, you read the writings of the Founding Fathers, this wasn't what they described at all. This isn't anything remotely like that.
Yeah, each state was supposed to be unique.
Its own country.
In a lot of ways, and that was the way that they wanted to accommodate multiple nations within one country.
Now, everybody knows that the First Amendment, Congress shall pass no law abridging the freedom of speech, and so on and so on. There's a First Amendment. But states, and this was recognized when the Bill of Rights was passed, was, well, if a state wants to abridge free speech or establish a state religion, well, they're welcome to, because that's not how it was phrased in the Constitution. That was purposely
it was all
done.
Congress shall pass no law.
That's correct, and it's a federal law. So, and then you have the Supreme Court saying, well, every state must follow exactly this.
See, that wasn't so much a change made by the Supreme Court, though. That was made by the 14th Amendment, which it came about strangely in that basically the state governments were suppressing.
That's a good point.
The rights of blacks after the Civil War, and so they amended the U.S. Constitution to say you can't do that.
Right.
But as soon as they took upon themselves the authority to say you can't do that, they also made themselves the arbiters of what civil rights were for everybody in every jurisdiction. And that's not how the framers saw it.
They knew words meant something, and when they said to Congress in the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, First Amendment, Congress shall pass no law abridging the freedom of speech, et cetera, they said that. But in the Second Amendment, they say the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Now, they didn't say Congress, they didn't say anything, they just said they recognized that people have this right. They recognized it, and they said government can't do anything about that because we don't have any right to do that. We state government can't do anything against this. That's the point. People look at it like government granted us rights, or the Second Amendment granted something. They didn't. That was never done.
It's not a grant of rights. It's supposed to be a guarantee by the government that this line they will never cross.
And they did.
Obviously, they cross it and cross it and cross it. And sooner or later, somebody has to get a face full of hot lead behind that, or
Boogaloo.
Having it is pointless.
It is, and this is why I don't think it's why people are... Government in Virginia just believes that they can squash everything. They can take away people's rights. It's no big deal. Make sure that anybody who shows up at the State House for this, this organized protest, nobody's allowed to have guns.
Yeah.
Well, how they're going to enforce
let me
that.
point out, there are 200 civilians for every cop and military and soldier in the United States. So we can defeat them if we want to.
Remind yourself, we outnumber them. But that's all the time we have for you tonight. But there'll be more tomorrow night, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern, here on Free Talk Live.
Ever wanted to hook up with an attractive woman, but you couldn't because you were already in a relationship? Ever wanted to earn high income on low work hours? I'm Caleb Jones, and I've taught hundreds of thousands of men how to create low work, high income businesses and how to date women under your terms. Watch our free on-demand replay training with me so you can learn how to create location-independent income and date women the way you want. Go to alpha.freetalklive.com.
Free Talk Live